Holy smokes.
Everything looks okay?
We're live on YouTube.
Excellent.
Cool.
We're now live on Facebook.
Excellent.
Nice.
I don't see that anybody is tuned in yet. However, we are live on both of those platforms.
How could there not be people tuned in yet? How's that
I don't
even
know.
possible?
Waiting with bated breath. Maybe it's because...
It's me.
Maybe, why, Matt? Why might it be?
I think it's because this is the first show that we've done in well over a month. 2 months?
Yeah, it's
When
been
was the
since
last
June.
show?
Since June something.
So
Oh,
it's been
so
a
I'm
while.
the inaugural.
You are.
You are.
All
yeah.
right. So you see, it's like season 2. Is that what this is?
Is it season 2?
I think it's our summer season.
I think
You know how
so.
they do some of the programs do summer seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're in summer season
All
right now.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it is season 2 though, because we never really took a break this long. So theoretically, if you wanted to make the breaks,
Yeah,
the seasons,
you're right.
but not that we're following any rhyme or reason.
No.
It just had to do with vacation.
Heck, we don't even
schedules.
pay attention to time because really we're supposed to come on at 6 o'clock. We came on at 6:30.
That's
The
why
ish
we
today.
always say 6-ish.
Yeah, and that ish goes real
Really
far.
long.
Real far, yeah.
And normally I would be able to. There it goes. All right. Michelle Barrett is saying Becker Home.
Michelle. Hello.
Yes, we're here with Becker
Thank you,
Home.
Michelle.
Thanks for
Tuning in.
So now we have some watchers. So now we can start talking to people. I can see your comments on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to participate in the show, make a comment, ask a question, tell us how awesome we are,
Absolutely.
We especially love that.
please go
Right?
ahead and do that. I will work those questions and comments into the conversation as best as I can. You are getting kudos as Michelle's favorite designer.
Oh, Michelle, I love you. I love you too.
It's good to be a favorite anything,
It is.
right?
And
Yeah.
that comment in of itself is a good segue into who you are and what do you do.
What do you want to know?
We want to know everything.
Well, that's
we
a
have
long story.
we have as much time as we
As you
want.
feel
I
like,
guess.
right?
It's our show. We'll do,
Yeah.
what,
Do what
we
you
want.
Right.
want.
So yeah, start
tell
from
me-
the beginning,
Oh,
like when you were born. I did, folks. I did that on purpose to try to.
I
add
don't
some
have a single
comedy to the
napkin.
show.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. This chair is now extra. It
Yeah,
comes-
it comes
it
beer
comes
flavored.
with sauce.
So, oh God, where do I start?
Let's start with your business and
Okay.
how you started your business
Sounds good. So,
and what you do
how do I make this long?
How about her name?
and your
That's a
name.
good
Even said
idea.
that.
No, we haven't said anything.
Monique Becker, and I own Becker Home here in Boyertown. So,
In Boyertown proper.
yep.
Yeah.
I am in the old library space. Have you been in here before? When it used to be
I've
the
been in the
library.
kids section
yep,
before.
it's the children's section
Yep.
of where the library used to be. But yeah, so I used to be around the corner. People remember me from being when I was on Reading Avenue and moved over here last year, just for a bigger space, which was great. But started my business. This is year 13. I started in my home. And I used to, believe it or not, be in public health. I have a master's degree in public health. I used to do health education programs for different health organizations and just ended up getting really burnt out. And right around that time, my mom was actually diagnosed with terminal cancer. And it was one of those come to Jesus moments where life's too short not to do what you love.
Right.
And so I did a complete 180 and said, you know what? I got to do something different. I've been sewing my whole life. Maybe, and we just moved to Gilbertsville, and so have a house with those great big floor to ceiling windows.
Yeah.
In the front, old farmhouse, and I'm like, well, I can't buy anything at the store to cover these windows. I'll just make something. I know how to sew, and all this stuff was happening with my mom, and work was crazy. I had 2 little kids, and I just decided, I wish I could just make a living making curtains. So I literally sat down and Googled how to make a living making curtains, and I just fell down this internet hole, and found that there is an entire world of people like me that do that for
Yeah.
a living. So that's how I started the business, by making custom window treatments at home, and it's just kind of snowballed. From there, I added in upholstery. Now I do interior design work as well. So it's a, kind of an all-encompassing service for people.
Had you had any experience like sewing or seamstressing
Well,
before?
I started sewing for fun when I was about 12.
Okay.
So I knew how to make clothing. I didn't know how to make curtains.
Curtains.
So I did go and I took a whole bunch of courses. Long story short, my mother, and this is where real estate can come in, my mother-in-law sold a rental property, and she gave all of her kids and all of her daughter and sons-in-laws money from that sale. And so she gave me $5,000 and I took it and I started the business. So
That's great.
I went and I took a bunch of courses down in North Carolina, bought a sewing machine, and it just went from there.
And this is where you are now.
And this is where I am now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. So
That's a good internet hole, because I'm pretty sure I fell in internet holes and nothing good.
Nothing came out of it.
No, no.
No.
well, I
Definitely
think
not.
it also takes a little bit of crazy. Like,
Yeah.
it was in that
Oh, we
moment.
got that.
You know?
I know I got that, Matt. You have
Crazy?
a little bit,
Well-
the right amount, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Risk taking.
Risk taking,
Yeah.
You
yes.
have a high risk tolerance.
Especially when somebody's dying, You decide that,
Well, it does put things in perspective,
does.
right?
It does.
It
It
puts
does.
your idea that I'm done with this old thing.
Right.
It's not working out.
Right.
And now's the day.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Seize
can
the day.
relate. Like
Right.
I don't have any kind of background or training or education other than what was required for
Right.
real estate,
Mhm,
right? Like
mhm.
I came from a 15-year career in law enforcement and had worked in the government, local,
Okay.
state, or federal,
Right.
in one way, shape, or form for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
15 years in law enforcement, over 20 years as a public servant,
Mm-hmm.
and got burned out and decided to get into real estate.
There you go. See, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. But the thing is, it's amazing how it has totally come full circle, because the interior design that I do is holistic, which actually kind of ties itself back into my public health days,
Okay.
where I was really focused on wellness and just teaching people how to live healthy lives, just smoking cessation, exercise and diet, just the whole encompassing wellness lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so this kind of taps back into that, and we can talk
So
about that
can
later.
you explain that a little bit?
Yeah.
Holistic
So-
interior design?
I could work with a client and just come in and decorate your house for you, just like an interior designer would do. Holistic design takes it in a different framework. I don't do my design process like anybody else. What I do is I take people through a very specific process that helps them tap into what their personal needs are on a very deep level. We spend a lot of time together, me assessing, and we'll do a couple of examples if you guys are willing to be some guinea pigs and
Sure.
participate.
We're great guinea
there you
pigs,
go.
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So
We're crazy, so you never know.
Only slightly.
It'll be awesome, but
I don't want to go out there to the world
It's
we're.
too late.
Oh, okay. They heard us.
it's
They heard us
Jen
the first
done.
time.
confirmed it for everybody
Done.
in the comment section.
Done.
It's
Did she?
done. So we'll see what two wild and crazy guys.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but the whole point is that it's based in environmental psychology. Just the basic premise of that is you perform best, you live your best life, you can be whatever you want to be when you are in an environment that supports you. And this particular design process drills that down into, well, what does your environment need to look like?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I focus on my design. So I don't
Like
I want
color emotions and stuff
color
like that?
emotions plays into it, but what also really is a big part of it is a lot of your favorite memories of places that you have experienced, like from say birth to 18. So what I want you guys to do is think back to any time in that age range, so from 0 to 18. What was one of your favorite places that, and tell me, take a second or two and think about what your favorite, indoors, outdoors, think about who you were with, where you were, and just tell me some of those stories. Just take a second. What was your favorite place? Like if you 5 years old, what was your favorite place?
5 years. Well, I
10
don't even remember
yeah.
5 years.
Well,
old.
where'd you live when you were 5?
Here in Perkiomenville.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what was your house like? Is it the same house you grew up in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did it look like?
It was I'd say a modern A-frame, but it wasn't a true A-frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So What was your favorite place in there? Did you have good memories of that place?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Probably the balcony.
Okay. Describe it. What was so special about it?
It was open up. You could see the floor below, and you could throw things off of it and
Okay.
stuff.
So what colors, like, what did it look like? Was it woods or was it carpet?
It was carpet. I'm gonna say green, but and my parents are probably watching, so they'll tell me if I was right or not.
So what'd you do up on the balcony? I mean, what?
Threw things off the balcony.
Okay.
Yeah, but played up there. Everything,
Uh-huh.
because it was open, and it was open to the whole entire house.
Okay.
So that's probably why I like an open floor plan.
Right. So that's a detail. Now you're giving me very superficial information. I spend a lot of time with people getting them to pull out even more and more and more details, so that what I would suggest for you on a whole is you're going to feel better with an open floor plan concept. You're going to feel, I bet you, if you walked into a house that had some sort of balcony or alcove or something that had a similar feel, you would be like, this is my house.
Yeah.
I got to live here. I need this in my life. And so the difference is that we can live perfectly fine lives, whether we have something like that need met, but we're going to just perform better in our day-to-day living if we feel nurtured and we feel comfortable. And a lot of it does reflect back on our childhood experiences of what were really amazing places.
Yeah.
A lot of people will tell me some of their favorite places were outside, and they'll give me really great descriptions of where they were. And so I can tease out some of that, like greens or blues, or maybe we need a water feature, somewhere
Right.
in your house because you played by the creek, or, it's things like that are really important to maintaining just a innate level of comfort in your environment. You think of anything good?
No, I'm just being stimulated by what you're saying. So you're basically tapping into people's own creativity.
Correct.
You're using their memories and their feelings of comfort and being fulfilled in order to tap into their creativity and then find links into whatever design work that you're going to do.
Right.
So it makes sense to me. So here's my story. When I was a kid, from the time I was a little kid until the time I was 21, actually, I swam every summer, almost every summer, at Gruber Pool in Pottstown. So it was down in the park, had the pool in the park next to the creek. I swam there. When I was 15, I got a job there. I worked for the Parks and Recreation Department to the time I was 15 to the time I was 21. That's what got me into everything that came afterwards in my life. So
That's your
for
happy
me,
place, huh?
Yeah,
Right.
it would be the pool, the park. Even to this day, I'm not a beach person.
Right.
We went to the beach,
Uh-huh.
and I have a lot of good memories from the beach.
Right.
But I still prefer to be
You
in
feel-
the countryside.
Right. Your
in
comfort
a
level
park
is there.
setting,
Right.
a mountain setting. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's spot on. So a lot of people, and this is great for you guys. Like, I love to do this process with people who are looking for a new home because it helps narrow down so
Yeah,
much
to
real
cut out-
estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sure.
nope, you don't need to live in town. That's not where
That's
we're
not
headed
where
with
you
this.
wanna
You
be.
want to
Right.
be, you need, a couple of acres, you need lots of trees. Maybe, you need the noise of the cars. You need to live in a city. That's your space because when you were little, you grew up in a high rise and you fell asleep to, the sound of the cars and the horns honking. You need to live in a city. You don't belong in the country. So it's, from really big levels all the way down to minuscule, you need to paint your walls blue because it reminds you of the sky from that park, and it's just about creating infinite levels of comfort in your, in your environment and in your space. So I don't have to go through any of this process with anybody, but I'm never going to nail that design quite the same way without digging that information.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it is the pinnacle of personal design.
Yeah.
It's just about, I could take a stab in the dark and say, maybe we should paint your room pink. God, maybe you hated pink. You had to share it with your sister in a room that was pink with your sister, and she punched you in the nose when you were 5. And so
That's Matt's story.
that's my story.
I hate pink.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So
You know.
when we
Was that really your story?
That's my
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
I go and we look at houses all the time. Like that's our job.
Right.
We do
Either
hate
with
pink,
buyers
you're
or
right.
we're going
Right,
to houses to list them for sale. I have lost track of the number of pink and purple rooms.
Oh yeah.
And it's the number one selling color at Home Depot was like purple for the past like 10 years running. I don't understand it.
That's because people aren't calling or
I
getting
know.
color consultations, so that's why.
But for you, and listen, if somebody has a purple room at their house and that's what makes you happy, don't listen to me, right? Like you live there, I don't.
Right.
But if somebody, through unlocking this process or through what you unlock from this process, somebody might need a purple room,
And
right?
but that's the whole point. This is not me forcing my idea of good design on you.
Right.
This is me teasing
You're
out
kind of
what
taking 'em
you
by the
need.
hand.
Well, you're still
Yeah.
doing good design.
Absolutely.
It's just the good design that suits them best.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing: you can get amazing design, which is stunning and beautiful, but you're going to walk in there and it's going to feel cold to you. It's not going to feel warm. It's not going to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It can still be beautiful, but we want to do both.
Because
So
we're going through houses all the time. I'm sure that happens to Matt all the time. Happens to me all the time. Yeah.
What's that?
A beautiful house, and you respect that, but at the same time, you're like, it's not what I would want to live
Right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Like I've been to some enormous houses, you know what I mean, that are beautiful, totally customized, custom built homes or anything. It's a beautiful house. It's a
Right.
great place. It's not where I would choose to live.
Right,
Right.
right,
Doesn't fit
right.
my lifestyle or
Right.
what my needs are.
Right. Yeah, so I'm not doing my job if I am saying, well, I think you need to go to Pottery Barn and get the latest thing we saw in the catalog because that's trendy and it's cool. And I think it'll look nice because you need to do the farmhouse style because that's what everybody's doing right now. When you have horrible memories of any experience you may have had in a farmhouse growing up, we don't need to put you in that
Right.
environment, you know? So,
Yeah,
Let's-
I got kicked by
let's-
a horse when I was a kid.
yeah, so we're not going to use any horse wallpaper or stencils in your space.
I didn't.
So
People might
everybody-
think I did, but I'm not.
There are some people saying that they're relating to this. So
Oh, cool.
Jennifer Ann's saying that she likes bi-level homes because that's the kind of house she grew up in. She likes trees in the backyard because she had a tree
Yep.
in the backyard where she used to climb on and everything else.
Yep.
And then Michelle Barrett is just agreeing with that. She
Yep.
loves trees and climbing ropes and rope swings and apple picking
Yep.
because that came from her background.
Right. And so I would recommend to Michelle, maybe you should plant a couple apple trees in your yard.
Right.
You know, just
To
something
make it
like
feel
to
like
make it
home.
right.
Apparently, Michelle, you already did assess her.
I did do.
You assessed her and her husband through holistic design.
I did.
And they loved it.
Yeah, it was
We
fun.
loved the result.
Yeah, we did. We
I'll
had
say
fun with that.
this, and this really has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but
Okay.
this is the second time we've been in here. We were here with Happy Zen Mama because you share
Yep,
the
I
space
share the
with her,
space, yep.
and every time I come in here, it's the way you design your building here is great. I
Thanks.
mean, it always feels comfortable.
You know,
I
we
gotta
get
say- I
we
gotta-
get that a lot.
And it's different.
It's-
It's changed.
Yeah.
Completely different than last time we were
It
here.
is. It
Yes.
is.
Yeah,
It is.
and I mentioned that
It's a sickness.
to Monique earlier, that it's so different.
Every time people come in, they say it's wonderful to hear that because they always say, you know, the place feels so comfortable. And that is so what we're going for when people walk in. We want you to be able to feel like you can sit here, take off your shoes, relax, be at home. You see something you like, great. You need help with something, we're here to help you. For me, growing up, home, and I know this is not everybody's experience, so you'll have to take this with a grain of salt, but I think everybody has this innate need to find what home means to them. And so for me, home was a place of safety. It was a place of rejuvenation. It was a place where no matter how crappy my day was, I knew that I had some sort of support network there.
Yeah.
And so we want people to be able to feel that when they come in here. Maybe they can't get that at home, but you know, if they can come in here and figure out how to create that feeling for themselves in their own space, that's what our goal is.
I mean, at the end of the day, in order to reach back into some of those memories, you're going to have to help. Part of it is going to have to help quiet those people's minds, right?
Right.
Like they need to quiet their mind from the day to day and all the stress and everything else, so that they can actually look in to the past and see what they can really relate to.
Take people through a lot of exercises to dig into that, because I mean it's hard to just shoot off the cuff, memories and things. It's not until we start going through all of these exercises that it starts to trigger stories that people want to talk about.
Right.
And that's, for me, that's what design is about. It's about taking the stories of your life and what are the greatest moments from that, and what awesome pieces can we pull out of that and turn it into something tangible that
Right.
fits in your space.
Now, so this in a way, to go back to what you were saying earlier, this is actually how you were able to marry your former career in healthcare
Yep.
with what you're doing with the design.
Right, right.
Now, how much of this kind of stuff were you doing in your past life?
So-
or was it just a flavor, and now you've really gone in depth?
So, when everybody, maybe it's just me, but I tend to believe that everybody has a purpose for being on this earth in some shape or form, and it takes a long time for some of us to figure out what that is. Some people always know. My husband, he's like, nope, I'm an engineer, always gonna be an engineer, till the day kudos to you, honey. That ain't me. I think that I personally needed to know that I was making a difference in people's lives. And for a long time, I didn't get that feeling from just doing plain design work, but I got it once I started helping people tune into what mattered to them in their lives and in their space. And so knowing that, yes, design can actually make a difference to somebody's life and how they feel in their space, because when you feel good, you go out there, you do amazing things, you treat people nicer. It just creates one of those ripple effects.
For sure, yeah.
For just people across the world. So there's a lot of pain and crap in people's lives, and if there's a way to make something better when you come through the door, when you get home, and you can be like, I found that safe place, I found that rejuvenating spot, today sucked, but I can get back up and go out there another day.
Right.
So, that's my mission.
I like that.
Michelle saying that her favorite interior design elements are botanical wall prints and live plants.
Yep.
Which leads me to another question. So you do have some stuff here in your showroom. Are there suppliers or catalogs that you reach into to help find these people? Are you going to like local purveyors, or how are you identifying some of these pieces beyond
Right.
what you make?
Right. So that is a good question, because that has been the biggest challenge for me in this space. I have those resources, those vendors where I can go and I can just randomly grab stuff that's pretty and looks nice and have it for sale in the shop. But if I don't know that it's going to resonate with somebody, it can sit here for months and
Sure.
collect dust. So just because you come in here and you may not see what you love, it might be because, we just haven't reached that spot where I've been able to interpret what it is that you need. But I do have different places that I go for things. I can't explain it. It's just that artsy part of me that can take the stories people give me and interpret those into something that's architectural or artwork or, anything that needs to go into their space. And that's the fun part for me. That's the creative part for me, where I can just go and say, hey, I think we need to, I don't know, maybe get a little indoor fountain for you.
So if you don't have the item here, you
can go out and get it.
search and
Yep,
find it.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's not any particular places you go, just
Yeah, all over.
All
There's
over, yeah.
nothing. I don't have a single one go-to place because everybody's different. I've never done the same design twice.
Yeah.
So, most catalogs are kind of grouped into styles, and I don't tend to design in a particular style. So,
is there a favorite design that you've done in the past that you're just like, wow, that hit you because you're doing it for the other person, but
right.
but maybe it hit you hard, like even if it wasn't your taste, but you're like, that's really cool how that turned out.
And and this is going to sound like a cop-out, but quite honestly, it's every project that I do, because
get that.
I love going through the process with people, and I love helping them problem solve to figure out, yeah, this is what you need. This is what's going to make your space look awesome. Because for me, the process is fulfilling. for them, they're getting their needs met, and it's just that joint working together, to make a project happen, which as a problem solver, I dig. I just think it's, and as a creative problem solver, it's, it's fun. But
So you mentioned art. So do you have an art background?
I can't draw to save my life. Nope.
But you have an artistic. You use the left side of your brain.
Yes, I am actually both sides pretty equally.
Okay.
Example, my favorite toys growing up, Legos and Barbie. So I loved to build stuff, and I loved to play with Barbie, but I didn't make believe. I used to just rearrange her house.
So you were born for
I
this.
was born
for
to those
sure.
two. I mean, and that was, when they make you do those quizzes in high school and college, what you'd, a good career.
Sure, yeah.
Those types of things would get teased out, but I never was able to put them together until very recently. And in the last 5 years, I'm like, oh my God, I loved Barbie decorating and I loved playing with Legos. I'm like, this is it. My worlds have collided, So, yeah, yep. And this was with Legos before they made the cool kits. It was just you got the bricks loose and
you do whatever
make...
you want to do. Yeah.
Right.
I got thoughts about my daughter now.
Yeah.
Oh, what she's going to be?
Yeah.
All right.
But we'll see. I'll see in 20 years or whatever.
But
15 years.
I don't know. Like here, so before we go much further into the conversation, I do want to say this because more people have tuned in. We're sitting here with Monique Becker from Becker Homes. She's located on East Philadelphia Avenue here in the lovely borough of Boyertown. What's the address?
It's 31 East Philadelphia Avenue.
31 East Philadelphia Avenue, Becker Homes. She shares this place with Happy Zen Mama, who we've also talked to on the Cast at Glocker. This show is the Cast at Glocker. We're on Facebook and YouTube. We monitor the comments, so please make your comments and questions. I wanted to get that out there.
And I do, before I forget, because I will forget, I do want to throw a shout out to Danny's Custom Computer Repair.
Oh, that's
because because about a month and a half ago, I would say somewhere around there was our last show, last live show, and we had a problem with our equipment. He took care of it for us, and
he did,
and we went through a whole long road to get to our Boyertown friend here, Danny's Electronic Repair.
What happened was we went to finally where we should have gone first.
First, right? Yeah.
We've gone to our local purveyor of electronics, and
had no problem repairing it real quick.
Fixed it and
everything.
got it done.
He's fixed mine twice. He's great.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that also brings us to the point of the show. We created this show to let you know what was going on in and around Boyertown, and then also as a way for Boyertown business owners, members of nonprofit organizations, or just anybody that has a message to spread to let you know what's going on in your community right here in Boyertown and the surrounding area. If there's one thing that I learned from this pandemic is that we really should be making a focus on supporting our local businesses as often as we possibly can, right? These are the people in our community. They live on our block. They coach our teams. They sponsor our teams. They go to church with you. So help your neighbor. Help your neighbor.
Yeah.
And when you know what? And when you do that, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
Yep.
You will.
Yep.
And you'll actually probably benefit. I'm not saying probably. That's a bad word.
You
You
will.
will benefit from it because I'm you can go to Walmart for stuff, but you go to a place like Becker Home here, and you get a lot more than just stuff.
Service.
Yes.
Personalized
yep.
service.
You might get a whole new lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go. Excellent.
So there we are.
Yep.
That's what brings us here tonight to 31 East Philadelphia Avenue in Boyertown, 19512. Stop by.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So Matt,
Yes, sir.
are we at the point in the show?
Yes.
Okay.
I know where you're going.
Okay. That we should talk about what's going down in Boyertown?
Yes.
All right. That's a blog that I do each week. Monique knows it, right? Happy Zen Mama, which she shares a story with, also knows it. It's an event blog in Boyertown that tells you what's happening in and around the area. And I also, usually have some kind of write-up about something that is happening in life in general.
Right.
And this week,
you've done history.
I've done it.
You've done current events.
Mm-hmm.
You've done trivia.
Mm-hmm.
All different kinds of things.
Yep, local stuff.
Sometimes it relates to local. Sometimes it doesn't.
I try to stick to the local when I can, but
Right.
Sometimes there's not always something huge going on, which is okay. But this week, so I've been on vacation, as you have too, right?
I went on vacation as well.
I hope, Monique, you've been on.
I did.
On vacation.
My sister's in St. Martin, so I
Ooh.
got to go. She's
lives there.
Yeah, she decided at 43 she was going to go to medical school.
Uh-huh.
And so she decided if she was going to med school, she was going to go somewhere nice. So that's where they are. And so we went to visit.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, it was nice.
So we've all been vacationing because, oh my God, we need it, right?
Yep.
We deserve it. Everybody
Yeah.
deserves it.
Get out a little.
Yes. So we've been on vacation, going out to dinner, all sorts of things that we couldn't do so much over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
And all that does add up. I know I have 2 children, and the bills start to add up, and vacationing and dinner and all that fun
Yes.
stuff. So I was thinking, well, what can we do? What can everybody do that is still getting out and doing something, and that's free or not very
Low
costly?
cost.
Yeah, or low cost. And I thought the first thing that came to mind was parks. I know you're a fan of that, right?
Big time.
Yeah. So that's what I did my blog on this week. Going out to different parks in the area, because there is a lot of local parks, and they all offer a little bit something different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great thing to bring your family out to, or just, as a couple or yourself, just go out and breathe some air. And and I know people did that a lot last year because they were forced to only do that.
Yeah, right.
But
I spent more time fishing
Right.
than I had since I was a teenager.
Right.
Probably. Yeah.
but there's no reason not to do that now.
Right.
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 So so I just listed a bunch of parks and what they quick synopsis of what they have to offer.
Sure.
We'll start right here in town, Boyertown Community Park. It's a great park.
Nice park.
Yeah, it's a nice big park. You got playground there. You got 2 picnic pavilions. You got that big band pavilion
Yeah.
there. An 18-hole disc golf course, which I'm not sure everybody knows about.
Yeah.
You have a hiking or walking trail, and you have the swimming pool there.
They have a little fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
workout
do. They
little-
do have a workout thing
center.
there.
I went over there one day. So during the
Sorry.
while schools were closed, my son was coming. Both 2 of my sons who are still in grade school or high school were coming up to the office to log into their online classrooms. So the one day as a break, my youngest son and I walked over to the park. We took our lunch over there.
Right.
And we found that little workout area, and we got some reps in.
Did he school you?
Well, of course, he's 16. Come on, man. He's 16. He's a jock.
Yeah.
He's working out all the time. So yeah, of
Yeah.
course. But it was a free, like you're saying, it was a free place, just a few blocks away from our office at 900 East
Yeah.
Philadelphia Avenue.
Nice
and
plug.
no problem.
Yeah.
Got to eat lunch in a scenic environment and then work off the fact that we sit on our butts too long. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We did a couple of little quick sessions on the fitness and felt energized and ready to go back to work and school.
Yeah.
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 Free.
Free.
Yeah.
Well,
Free's
the cost
great.
of Taco Bell. But,
And they're doing
But that wasn't
comedy,
forced
yeah.
upon you.
And they're doing comedy in the park now.
comedy in the
They
park.
do. They do
Yes.
comedy on the stars, and the next one. Funny that you bring that up
There you
because the next one is Thursday, August 19th.
Yeah.
That's with Soul Joel.
That is with Soul Joe, which
And
we interviewed Soul Joe.
Interviewed Soul Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's always a great time. I mean,
Who doesn't love comedy?
Right.
Who doesn't?
Laughter helps you live longer, right?
Now those events are fundraisers, right?
They are. They help. They help building a better Boyertown.
Build a better Boyertown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the site of Doria Days, which I don't know if they're doing this year or not. I'm not sure about
Yeah, I
that
haven't
yet.
heard.
but that's a great car show. Huge, gigantic.
So we spent all that time and we've only talked about one
We
spot.
talk about one, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
going to...
how many more are there?
There's like 100
Yeah,
more. I'll
sure.
get through them.
Yeah.
No, so I'm only highlighting a few because of that reason. There's so many parks.
Right.
But Earl Township Park, great park. Do you know where that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a sand volleyball court, which, is always fun. Horseshoe pits, quate pit. Quate? I mean, I guess like quate pit, yeah. Basketball nets there. Also has a 9-hole frisbee golf or disc golf course.
And there's that little extension of it down along Manatawny Road. That's Earl Township Park.
Okay.
You can fish in the Manatawny, and it's stocked with trout
Okay,
there.
cool. Didn't know that. That's why I have you here, Matt.
Get your fishing license if you're over 16. But yeah.
Absolutely.
I have mine. Yep.
Here's one you might know about, Matt. Memorial Park in Pottstown.
I know a
You
lot
tell
about-
me what's going on there.
all kinds of things. So the Trilogy BMX bike track is there.
Which brings us to another point.
Local
Olympian.
A local Olympian.
Yeah, which is last week's blog was about the Olympics and about our local Olympians.
Yeah. Her name escapes me, but she's
It
local.
is Peyton Peanut Ridner.
Yep.
Ridner, I think.
She learned how to ride BMX and trains at Trilogy Park in Memorial
when she was
Park
5 years old.
in Pottstown.
Yeah.
It's the site of Eastern
And graduated from
Nationals.
O&J.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew she was local. I just didn't know which school she went to.
Yeah.
Trilogy Park is the location for Eastern Nationals. So every year they have Eastern Nationals for BMX. They also have the Volleyball Rumble. It's the largest grass volleyball tournament in North America. Happens at Memorial Park.
Yeah. And which we were in before, right?
I didn't play.
You didn't play?
No, I was there working.
Okay.
For the Parks Department.
All right.
But that was like the third year. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that? It's been, I think this year was their 30th year, so we're getting old.
Yeah.
This year was their like 30th anniversary for that
Wow.
event.
Yeah,
But it
that
is
makes me
the
feel old.
largest grass volleyball tournament in North America,
Yeah.
in Pottstown, Pennsylvania.
It's really cool.
I'll tell you another neat thing about Memorial
Let's
Park.
hear it.
I love talking about Pottstown. Memorial Park on Veterans Island has the only interactive Vietnam memorial in the United States. It's a kneeling soldier with an outstretched hand,
Okay.
and Vietnam vets can go down there and interact
Oh,
with
that's
that
cool.
soldier by giving him a pound.
Ah, nice.
Pottstown. Go Forth celebration.
Yeah, which was huge. They had a great celebration this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The carousel.
Highlighted that on the blog as well.
The carousel.
Mm-hmm.
Manatawny Green mini golf course, and the Pottstown station on the Colebrookdale Scenic Railroad.
That's right.
All at Memorial Park.
Yep. Which should be eventually a station that you can just travel back and forth to.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're going to be bringing that online. Nathan Lapp, we interviewed him on my other show,
Mhm.
and also on this show. The other show that I have is called Porchcast Pottstown. So this is why I love talking about Pottstown. But Nathan, they're hoping to start running trains both ways within the next year.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow, I
coming
didn't know it was
soon.
that. I didn't know it was
They
that
have
soon.
to finish the construction on the Pottstown station.
Right.
Once they have that done,
Then it's go
they're
time?
going to start selling tickets on either side.
Cool.
So
Really
you'll be
cool.
able to get on and off on either side.
What a great way to travel.
So fun
Theor-
fact,
Yeah.
I made the window treatments for the new cars that are
Nice.
in there. Yeah. Yeah.
And all of that stuff is designed according to the original specs,
Yep,
right? So
yep.
did you go back into the Pullman records? And
I looked through a lot of photos.
Did you?
To just have some inspiration to make those. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we love it. Like
Yeah.
both my boys work at the
The
railroad.
trains are
They love it.
amazing.
They love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Amazing. I've never seen a train as beautiful as these.
They've done such an amazing
Yeah.
job. They really have. They're stunningly beautiful.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've talked about two parks and given you a list of, as long as your arm,
Right.
stuff that you can go and do.
Do
in
I
those
keep on
places.
going?
Why not?
All
Let's hear
right.
another one.
Monocacy Hill.
We talked about three parks because we talked about Earl
we did.
Township.
Right. Monocacy Hill in Douglasville. It has 428 acres. It's located in Amity Township in Douglasville. 6 miles of forest trails, and it has a spectacular view. If you haven't ever hiked that, it's not a hard hike at all.
No.
But you get to the top, and you have this beautiful view at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people would know it because if you've ever been to Island Pizza, Monocacy Hill is the big hill that you see right next to Island
Oh,
Pizza
okay.
on 422.
Yeah, it looks like what's that food item I'm thinking of?
It kind of looks like maybe an upside down snow cone or something.
That's not
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
thinking of. But,
All right.
um,
I don't know.
nah, I don't know.
I used to train over there.
But
when
it
I
does
was-
stick out like a sore thumb.
It does.
It's like
you
this
can't.
boom.
You can't miss it.
Yeah,
And the views are awesome over there.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hiking trails, all kinds. There's a little environmental.
Yeah, it teaches you about environmental facts throughout the trail, and you have a hiking trail that you go up the mountain. I think it's a mountain, but no, it's a hill. It's Monocacy
hill.
You go up the hill, you get to the top, you see the scenic, and go down. But there's also trails at the bottom that are really, really fun trails to hike, and it's not hard. It's not like you're not going climbing up and down.
No.
Can you bring
Yeah.
pets like on
You
leashes?
can.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yep. You
cool.
can bring dogs. Yep.
I used to train.
Or kitty
over there.
cats.
I guess yeah.
If
You
you want
can
to.
walk them on a
wanna
leash.
Walk your
Yes.
cat on a leash. It's a good place to jog. I used to run over there. That's what I was saying. I used to run over there when I was back when I could still train and
Yeah.
was in shape. I used to go over there for training runs. It's a great park. That's another
Yeah.
great park.
Really cool.
Free.
And all these have a little something different.
Right.
The none two are the same. French Creek State Park, and that's a big one in our area, has 7,730 acres, and it is and I didn't know this. I just learned this today. It's the largest block of continuous forest between Washington D.C. and New York City.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, because it's not just French Creek, because French Creek's there, right?
Mhm.
That's part of it. Hopewell National Park is there. They own a bunch of land.
Yeah.
The Nature Conservancy, Crow's Nest is up there.
Warwick.
And the state game lands are all there. All of that
And what about
stuff's-
Warwick? Isn't that it?
Yeah, well, Warwick County
Yeah.
Park.
Mhm.
Those are all connected up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over 7,000, almost 8,000 acres, which is
That's
huge.
just the state park.
Yeah. That's
There's
just a
more.
state park.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it, it has lakes there.
Two.
Yep. Has forest, of course, wetlands,
See-
hiking, fishing, camping, biking,
Hold on.
everything.
You're uncovering all this stuff now. See, we've
Yeah.
unlocked.
You
This
have.
This is all what I'm into.
You
right?
have,
You
yeah.
See me perk up like
Absolutely.
Right away?
So I know.
And I knew going in that Matt was going to love the segment that.
Right. So we're gonna have to have some sort of fish, maybe some antique fishing creels or something in your
Oh,
space.
Yeah.
You know, little something like we're not gonna do that. Singing fish though. That's
No,
we're not doing
not
that
that.
for you. Not for your space.
The good old singing
The
fish.
singing bass, whatever that is.
We got Green Lane Park, which also I knew it growing up as Montgomery County Park.
Yeah.
But it's in Green Lane, Pennsylvania. Fishing, boating there, camping, horseback, mountain biking, hiking, and they have concerts there and educational programs there. They have a big amphitheater, I guess you call it. Yeah.
There's they have sand volleyball there too.
They
There's
do,
tennis
yep.
courts.
Yep.
And they have an ice skating rink.
In the wintertime they do. Also this Saturday, Down Home is playing at Gablesville Athletics at 7 p.m. And also this Saturday, Mr. Moody and Friends is playing at the Washington Grill at 8 p.m.
Who's that?
He's from man, I saw the name. He's from another band,
Okay.
and so this is his own thing,
His own
and he joined has some other musicians join him. I can't think of the name of the band right now. Also this Sunday, Richard Thomas is playing at Izzy's on 3rd at 5 p.m.
He's great. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have some great music all weekend long. Also, we were talking about the Colebrookdale Railroad. They're doing rail bikes all weekend. There's still some open spots. I know that's a big hot thing. It's the first in Pennsylvania. It's the first rail bike in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And booked up. So, like, if somebody's interested in that, they should really make a reservation.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
last I heard they were booked up.
So they were booked up, but then they opened up a whole slew of new.
New
They're
slots.
quickly filling, though. My youngest son is one of the bike mechanics for
Okay.
them. So he said as soon as they open them up, they're filling up right away.
So as of today, there's still availability Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but it's not a lot.
Not a lot, right?
It's not a ton. It's like 3 or 4 bikes.
Right.
You know, so I'm sure they're going to get taken up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested, book it now, like right now. And the State Theater is this Friday starts Jungle Cruise, the Disney movie that is that I guess is taken from the ride at Disney World, the Jungle Cruise ride, and that has The Rock in it, starring The Rock. So lots of fun stuff to do in and around Boyertown. There's a lot more events than that I even mentioned today. So check it out. Check out the blog.
You shouldn't be bored.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
you
you
should
should
not be
never.
bored.
You cannot say that you're bored and you don't know what to do.
Right.
Right.
So Monique,
Yes.
All right, hold
you-
on, Jeff. Before
Okay.
you go any further, we lost our connection with the internet, so we're not online.
Uh-oh.
However, I did hit the record button as soon as I realized that. So we're recording.
okay,
But we're just not broadcasting.
okay.
So just so you know.
Okay.
So let's just finish the conversation.
Well, the next thing I wanted to say was, Monique, is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't already talked about? Like an event coming up or anything like that?
So we are going to be we have just extended our hours. So while Lisa and I were getting our feet underneath us this past year in the new space, we were just having hours here and there as we could kind of figure out what was working and what didn't. So starting August 8th, we're going to be open Wednesdays through Sundays.
Okay.
So we're going to have just regular hours. So the full weekend, is available for you to come in and browse and do some shopping. And we do have, I don't just do design, I do window treatments and upholstery. So if you need to look at fabrics or you want to look at blinds for your house, I've got all that stuff here for you to take a look at.
And you refurbish items too, right?
I don't, well, for reupholstery,
Yeah.
I don't do like furniture painting or any of
Yeah.
that. I just do the fabric, the upholstery. I'll strip it down to just the frame and
Do
then.
you do caning at all?
I
Are you into
don't,
that?
but I do have people that I can refer you to.
Okay.
Yeah, I do get that asked a lot. I just had to kind of draw the lines as to what I could do.
Sure.
And then we are going to be in November. We're going to be on the Best Kept Secrets tour. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not.
No.
So
lay it on us.
it's it's this great event that they have different counties throughout the year. So Berks County Best Kept Secrets is November 4th through 20th, and you buy a ticket to go around to the secret is what businesses are on the tour. So you get a ticket and you get a little goodie bag that has all sorts of fun, cool stuff in it. There's prizes, there's raffles, and until you buy your bag, you don't know what stores are on it.
Oh, okay.
So, but I just blew the fact that we are one of them for November 4 to 20.
You let the cat out of the bag.
I did. So it's going to be fun. There's events. We are going to have wine here for people that want to partake. We are going to have. I'm not going to reveal it now, but we're going to have a new feature as part of that, which is going to be really fun for people. It'll be a hands-on kind of thing. There'll be demos. I'll be doing some upholstery demos. Lisa's going to have some great sales. It'll be a perfect time to get your early Christmas shopping done.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about Christmas in July, but
Mhm.
but we're planning right now for the November event. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us still. But yeah,
Sounds cool.
It does.
Yeah.
Give us the dates again for that.
November 4th through 20th.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So I know I think there's at least 10 businesses, probably more, but it's all throughout Berks County. So it's not just
Cool.
Boyertown, it's the whole
I got you.
countywide. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap.
Anything else for the good of the order?
Not here.
All right. Jeff, why don't you give everybody your blog spot and how to get to it and all that
You
good
can go
stuff.
to jeffknowsboyertown.com, and the blog is What's Going Down in Boyertown.
Cool.
And it'll bring you
You can Google
up to
either one.
speed.
Yep.
All right.
And you can Google Jeff at Glocker, and that will bring up all my websites for my real estate career.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate on all platforms and the World Wide Web.
The World Wide Web.
Yeah, Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate.
Nice.
I have another podcast. We're on break. I'm going to have a meeting with Amy, my co-host of Porchcast Pottstown. That's tomorrow at 6:30.
It's time to start rolling again
We're
soon,
going to
right?
be planning the future of Porchcast Pottstown.
Awesome.
We're going to be back on Thursday nights at
All right.
6 o'clock.
You can announce that without talking to Amy?
Yeah, that's already been hashed
Okay.
out.
All right.
We're going to be Thursday nights at 6 o'clock with the live show.
Okay.
And then occasionally we're going to go live from special events or from with special interviews for events or places that we want to plug, give a little extra love to.
Okay.
That's the future of Porchcast Pottstown.
Awesome. I like it. I
There
can't
you
wait
go.
for you to come back.
Yep.
All right.
Now,
Very cool.
this has been the Cast at Glocker. We're on every Wednesday night at 6-ish. Check the Facebook page, Glocker Realty and Insurance, and you will see what our schedule is.
Yes. Yes.
Also,
And we
keep
have
your
some good stuff coming up.
I
We're
was
going to
just
be
gonna
at the
say
Auto
that.
Museum, the historic Auto Museum.
Auto
in Boyertown.
Museum's coming up.
Mhm.
We also are going to be giving out prizes.
Prizes are always good, right?
Oh.
I got 4 tickets to the Reading Phillies coming up. We're going to be giving those away.
Sweet.
So that's a reason to stay in tune with what's going on at Glocker Realty and
Besides
Insurance.
us,
We've
isn't that
got
reason enough?
that. Well, maybe not for everyone. I don't know. I'm trying to reach a broad an audience
Oh,
as
okay.
possible. We've got the Ask a Realtor, so you can win
Yeah,
$10
yeah.
at Wawa.
Easy win.
And
easy
there's a whole bunch
prize.
of other prizes and competitions coming down. So, long story short, keep your eyes on Facebook, Glocker Realty and Insurance. We're also on YouTube, same thing, Glocker Realty and Insurance. We're going to be continuing to post up those property videos that we do.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people like to get nosy about houses in the
Oh,
area.
yeah.
Yeah, get
One
a look,
way-
get a peek inside.
One way you could do that is head on over to YouTube, Glocker Realty and Insurance, and watch these great videos that
Yeah.
we're doing to help people sell their houses. That's all I have.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Cast at Glocker. We will see you next time at 6-ish on
Yep.
Wednesday night.
Thanks, Monique.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Come and check out Monique Becker, 31 East Philadelphia Avenue in the lovely borough of Boyertown. Thanks for tuning in, folks.